Alright guys, this is Ice. I'm going to be casting another Zerg versus Zerg, but this is going to be with Spanishiwa as the red Zerg at the top, and as the blue Zerg at the bottom we have Armandil GMMA, if that's how you pronounce it. And this is one of the replays he has up in his tutorial for his build, the Spanishiwa build, or Ice Fisher build, as I think he wants it to be called. And so he has basically a bunch of different people using different builds against him to see if he can hold it off, and he has said that in his replays he doesn't always win, and I'm not sure if this is one of the ones that he's lost or not because I haven't actually seen this before, but this is going to be against an 11 pool baneling all in. So there's the extractor trick. We can see with the 11 out of 10 supply, and we're probably going to be seeing the pool coming down right away. 11 pool baneling all in. So see what happens here. Again, I don't know if he wins this. He has lost a couple of them, at least in the Zerg category. I'm not sure about the other races. I haven't seen all of them yet. This is going to be also a pretty... I think it's going to be a pretty good game. You know, Zelnaga Caverns is a very balanced map. A lot of players like it. Not so good for Zerg who are going for a hatch before pool because it's kind of a small map. It's a straight line and the expansion is not very easily defendable. But anyhow, let's see what Spanishiwa is doing. This drone, according to the Spanishiwa build, he gets up the hatchery at 16, which he is at, and moving the drone down here just as he hits the 300 minerals. So perfect there by Spanishiwa. Preemptively moving down the drone, of course, so that when he reaches 300 he will not have to wait. And then the pool comes up at 15 because his build is the 16 hatchery 15 pool. So we're going to be seeing the pool come up right here. There we go. For this player, the pool is already up along with an extractor, and I'm not sure the exact type of build that this player is going for. If he's going for metabolic boost or if he's just going straight for immediate banelings. And then I guess if you do that, you would go for the mineral line. And Spanishiwa, what he likes to do, just because he gets a hatchery so early, is to get a couple spine crawlers in the beginning. And sometimes he goes for a lot of queens as well, because he doesn't get the gas till around 40 supply. I did say 40. He usually doesn't like to get the gas till 40 supply, and his reasoning is that any drones on the gas are drones not mining minerals, and he likes to get as much minerals as possible early in the game so that he can have a slight macro advantage, and if he can get a couple spine crawlers, that'll be pretty useful for him. And we'll see if he can pull this off. This is a very difficult build. I'm sorry if you're hearing some wind right now. Very difficult to pull off. You can see some of the Zerglings just hatched for Spanishiwa. Going to be saving that drone. One Zergling lost for Spanishiwa. More Zerglings on the way. And I'm going to pull up the production tab. Sorry I didn't do that earlier. And like I was saying before, he is getting metabolic boost. The Baneling's nest is almost finished. However, Spanishiwa does have a couple more Zerglings than the other player. Again, and you can see, just as I was talking about, 2 spine crawlers coming up at the expansion. And Spanishiwa also says that with the queen, the very first set of energy you get as it spawns is used with a creep tumor. So that's important to note. 2 queens down here at the expansion. He also likes to use those to block off the ramp. A lot of Zerglings down here with metabolic boost. Spanishiwa could be in trouble. The blue Zerg is supply blocked, and you can see here blocking off the ramp. He knows it's coming. Spine Crawler just trying to root, but looks like it's going to be pulled up, pulling drones off the line as well. And the queen just making sure that the Zerglings cannot slip past. Spine Crawler going to go down very quickly, and again, just keeping the queens there. The blue Zerg could run fast right now, but not going to do that. Trying to kill the queens, and that is a viable option rather than going for the mineral line, just because Spanishiwa is not using the spawn larva yet because of the creep tumors, and the blue Zerg would have used that already. No spine crawlers up here in the main base, and that is because the ramp is always supposed to be blocked off when the spine crawlers come down here. The blue Zerg looks like going to be running away just because all the drones being pulled off the line, and a couple Zerglings as well. However, more reinforcements on the way, just a couple. We'll see if that's enough. An overlord by Spanishiwa, just seeing if he's going to go for an expansion or not. And no lair, of course. That would be kind of a waste of minerals because this is supposed to be a relatively early game all in. You can see the banelings just now forming, going to be coming into play. We'll see if Oh, well, almost got those Zerglings. Baneling's not very effective against queens, and those banelings there, a lot of them went to that spine crawler, and the spine crawler did not die. So kind of a waste of banelings there by the blue Zerg. Forming a bit more, of course. His gas count keeping pretty low, just because of those banelings. And now I should note that he only has 2 mining. The extractor, he obviously does not need 3 because of the amount of Zerglings and banelings that he has. Spanishiwa wisely pulling the Zerglings away from the banelings. Sometimes you don't see that, but if one baneling can destroy like 5 Zerglings at once, and so wisely pulling the Zerglings away and letting the queens deal with the banelings, not taking that much damage. And by the way, queens have no armor type, and you know, just like I said at the beginning of the game, Spanishiwa does like to go for a lot of queens. More Zerglings on the way, not seeing any banelings yet. Gonna be trying to do some damage on the mirror line, however, 2 spine crawlers are going to be defending, pulling drones off the line, and looks like Spanishiwa is going to deal with that little poke just fine. The only real problem for Spanishiwa is if a baneling can sneak into the back of the mineral line. I'm not sure why the blue Zerg hasn't tried that yet. Expansion is going down. Probably the reason for that probably is that the blue Zerg has not done enough economic damage to stay on one base, and although he has prevented full saturation over here, and he is going to be behind by the time this finishes. A couple of Zerglings at the watchtower. He is actually not making any more Zerglings. There is a Roach Warren on the way. No Zerglings or banelings on the way. He's droning up, really waiting for this expansion to finish to see if he can catch back up. But Spanishiwa now has full saturation on both bases with an evolution chamber coming up, and usually he likes to get 2 evolution chambers at once, and that way he gets the melee and ground carapace, what he does a lot, because he likes to then go on to ultralisks in the late game, and the upgrades transfer nicely from the Zerglings to them. However, going for the missile attacks level 1, that is going to be for the queens and the roaches, which, sorry, I meant roaches for the blue player. That's going to be for the queens to deal with the roaches. This is what I meant to say. I don't actually think he knows there are roaches. Anyhow, Spanishiwa probably going to be producing more queens, because he does do that. Sometimes he just goes for absolute mass queens for the entire game, and it has worked. It is a bit odd though. The roaches now, that transition, we'll see how that works. Another extractor coming up to support that. Probably going to be going for some upgrades as well. Neither player has... oh, sorry. Spanishiwa has a lair, with the evolution chamber, of course. And the blue Zerg just setting a Zergling around the map, coming up here to the watchtower, yeah. And Spanishiwa spreading some creep down here, and creep, of course, also gives vision. And a lot of Zerglings here for Spanishiwa, so I think he's really in the lead now and getting a bunch of banelings of his own, and gonna be moving those down here to his expansion. He is expanding, of course, and the blue Zerg, he could either expand to catch up, but or he could try to go for a last desperate attack. And you can see just pumping out roaches constantly now. However, the problem here is, well, this attack for one, although not going to do much, it looks like the roach is going to pull that away unless he does some economic damage over here very quickly, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. You should hold positions on the Zerglings, and the drones being pulled off the line, Queen trying to attack, and the roach is doing some damage, although the Queen looks like it's going to go down, just barely goes down, and the Zerglings sacrificing themselves. Not an extreme amount of damage, however, it was good that he killed the only queen, and just because there was only one queen makes that very difficult for the blue Zerg. Now, one thing I just want to note for Spanishiwa, there are infestors on the field, there is fungal growth available, and fungal growth is, I think, can actually kill a Zergling in one hit. So if you get a bunch of Zerglings with fungal growth, then that's going to be the end of Armandiel. I still don't know how to pronounce his name. Anyhow, a ton of roaches here. We'll see if Spanishiwa is able to use the infestors properly. If he does, he should be okay. He is burrowing them. Probably just checking out what is going on over here. There is no overseer. And nice fungal growth! Oh my god, and again! That is insane. A lot of fungal growth on the roaches and burning again so they can't be attacked. The roaches are very low in life. He could finish this off with a couple of zerglings now if he could get a nice surround. However, the blue player does have a bunch of banelings and oh, the infestor almost goes down. And a whole bunch of infested. I mean, fungal growth roaches again. Oh my god, that was disgustingly amazing. That fungal growth absolutely destroyed the roach army, and Spanishiwa also says that when he's behind, he likes to go for infestors. And of course, if the fungal growth is used properly, they can be devastating, as that's what you saw over here with all such low life. Just a couple zerglings would have destroyed that, and Spanishiwa going for some roaches of his own. 7 on the way, 1 more infester, and 12 zerglings as well. Meanwhile, 16 zerglings for the blue player. So that's going to be it for this cast, and I'll probably cast another either today or tomorrow.